Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Wednesday, the 19th of February. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only, and I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right, I'm going to do a post this morning, but what I'm going to be talking about is my post last Monday, where I was talking about using the strong bullish days, which were basically Thursday, Friday, and Tuesday, although obviously Tuesday wasn't that bullish today, but and using those to get the bull flags on SPX and Qs to retest the all-time highs, and we've seen those. Now, just wanted to mention, obviously I was mentioning that after that we were basically looking at sort of bearish historical tape for the rest of the year. The rest of February, and we've got fairly strong leaning bearish days on Thursday and Friday. We've got another one on Monday, and we've got another one on Friday next week, which of course is the last trading day of February. The following week, we've got a bullish day on the Monday, bearish day on the Tuesday, bullish day on the Wednesday, but basically we've got a fairly bearish leading period from here into the end of February. Now, I don't know whether that's going to deliver anything, but we have got a couple of decent looking setups. I'm going to talk more about those when we get to the bigger picture charts, but in the short term we've got a weak 60-minute sell signal fixed, and that's reaching the possible near miss target, so it's not an awful lot to hang our hat on in terms of the downside short term. Haven't really got a double top here, particularly. We haven't really got an awful lot on NQ either. We've again got a weak 60-minute sell signal I was talking about yesterday morning, which has reached the possible near miss target. On RTY we've done very little, hanging above the monthly pivot, and YM, again, we've done very little. YM, I was hoping would do a retest of the all-time high, and it hasn't managed that yet. Looking at DAX, DAX, we're actually seeing a bit of weakness this morning. The STX was the only one which had of the two of them, which had a 60-minute sell signal left, and that's now reached target. So we will see how that goes. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Okay, nothing on the daily chart. So I'm looking at the daily chart on SPX. We've now done a retest of the all-time high. We got up to 6129.63, which basically was a handle and a half above the previous one. We have a very, very nice looking nested double top here, and we will see how that goes. We've still got plenty of uncertainty in the market. We've got and we've now got a really nice looking topping setup. That doesn't necessarily have to deliver, but I think it might. And looking at the hourly chart, no divergence, but again, you can see very nice looking nested double top here. Looking at the 15-minute chart, again, no divergence, little double top here maybe, so only runs for about 60 handles, but I am wondering if we might see a much larger move than that. We will see. Looking at Qs, at the daily upper band, a little bit of negative divergence on the hourly RSI 14, but it's not an awful lot. Nope, not even got some negative divergence there actually. A little bit on the RSI 5. It's but it's not an awful, as far as topping setups go, this isn't an awful lot to go with. But we do have a little bit of negative divergence, and we have a lot of uncertainty, and we've got some nice looking topping patterns, and I'm wondering if they might deliver. On the daily middle band, we closed on it yesterday on Dyer. Again, it hasn't really moved enough. We do have a potential bullish setup here. It's a possible bull flag triangle forming at an earlier stage, but we will see. Really, what I was wondering about at the beginning of last week was whether we do these high retests, and the two good bullish setups were on SPX and Qs, and we've seen both of those make target and new all-time highs, and I was wondering whether we would see a decline after that, and now I think we will see whether or not we are going to see that decline. We don't necessarily have to. We could run up a bit higher, but I think with the tariffs and general uncertainty on the bigger picture, this would be a good time to see a retracement, and I'm thinking we might well see one. Looking at IWM, again, it's hanging around the daily middle band. No current divergence on the RSI 14, but if we see a retest of this high here at 227.98, we could see one on the RSI 5. 15-minute not a lot to say. All right, DAX, we're now seeing a bit of a retrace from the high. We haven't quite reached the obvious target here, which is the obvious trendline target, which isn't a really strong target that I think we need to make. But I've got something at about the 23,050 area. And Nikkei still kicking around the daily middle band. All right, great. So we will see how that goes. But we've got bearish tapes running through, bearish leaning tape running through into the end of February here. We will see what can be done. Okay, DX. This overall looks like a bull flag. It's a nice looking support trend line, and we need to do some more work to the upside. Short term, I think this might well be a bear flag setting up a retest of this low that can set up a small double bottom and get us back up into the monthly pivot area. ZB, we had a little IHS here which had broken up and has now failed. This would normally result in this returning back to the monthly pivot for a back test. CL, we had, I was talking about the little nested double bottom here yesterday. We've broken up from the first double bottom with a target basically in the monthly pivot area. If we get there, then we were starting to break up from the second and larger double bottom, which a breakup could get us back up into about the 76.50 area. NG has gone higher. So this is not a potential double top anymore. We've gone significantly higher. We've got a possible 60 minutes sell signal brewing, but I'm pretty much on the verge of giving up on the bearish leaning tape into April, and we're almost at the end of February now, and we've not seen really any sign of weakness at all. GC, we're still retesting the highs. I am thinking there are signs of weakness here. We've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed here. SI, we've got a little weak 60-minute sell signal brewing, but HG is the one I'm looking at, because HG, we've got a daily RSI 14 sell signal fixed, we've got a daily RSI 5 sell signal fixed, and we've got a potentially beautiful head and shoulders brewing here. Look at that neckline, it's entirely flat, it's very nice. I think we might be looking at a head and shoulders here, and a sustained break below 4554 could get us back down into about the 4.3 area. Short term, we've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed, which fits with the right shoulder forming here. I think this may well be a head and shoulders forming. So we shall see. Looking at KC, KC is heading back up into a retest of the high. That could be the second high of a double top when we get there. SB has broken up from an IHS with a target in about the 20.35 area. CC still in this very long bullish consolidation. ZW, we're now getting very close to a test of the IHS target in the 612 area. Corn, we're losing the potential nice looking double top we had here. 60-minute sell signal fix here. Could see some retracement here, but this is no longer a nice looking double top setup. And we could lose the double top setup on soy, which is broken down with a target in the 983 to 987.5 area. We're setting up just a bear flag so far, but we could be reversing back up here. And rejecting back up into a retest of the highs. On CT, this is a very, very nice bear flag channel. So respecting that for the moment. If this gets below the monthly pivot, I've got flag support in the 67.50 area, and a break below would set up a retest of this low. On lumber, keeping an open mind, I do not have a decent pattern set up here on live cattle. Live cattle broke up from declining resistance and has gone lower. I think this still looks like a bull flag forming. But we do have a possible alternate where we've got a head and shoulders which is broken down with a target in about the 184.5 area. And looking at live lean hogs, this may well be a bull flag forming. Ultimately we should see a retest this high, which we haven't quite seen yet. All right, great. Let's have a look at questions, of which we have none. Okay, right. We're waiting. We've reached the stage which I was talking about in Monday last week. We've seen retests of the highs on SPX and on the Qs. We don't have a great topping setup here. We don't really have much in the way of sell signals, signs of reversal. We could easily go higher, but we are down onto bearish tape now. We've got neutral tape today. We've got bearish leaning tape on Thursday and Friday. We've got bearish leaning tape also on Monday next week and on Friday next week. So this is a bearish leaning few days. We will see what happens with this. We've got a couple of very nice looking topping setups here on SPX and the Qs particularly. and we may well see something happen on those. We will see. There's an awful lot of uncertainty. Tariffs looking increasingly as though Trump really is serious about tariffs. So markets don't like uncertainty. This would be a good time to see a retracement. Doesn't mean we're necessarily going to get one. But I think we might well. We shall see. All right, great. In that case, that's a wrap. I'll have a post out in an hour or two, so watch out for that, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning.